this year I've really struggled in like this mental fog a little bit of like, okay, like I mentioned, we hit this really big milestone number last year, and I wanted to keep that momentum going, go bigger, go to 1.5, maybe 1.4. I was really looking to keep growing, and to be transparent about it, we didn't see that kind of growth. We've held the line. I've been calling this a deep roots year because I feel like we have done a lot of growing in, towards our values, our purpose, like some of those things that really matter for long-term success, but it's not really showing in our trusty oak on the, the top part of the tree of things. And a lot of that has been for me, just kind of like I'm learning as I go. I did not start a business before 2015. I was an employee. I didn't go to college. I was a pharmacy technician for 11 years. I wasn't even in the business space and using a computer for a lot of things. So I've had to learn a lot and learn it really quickly. And once I got to this new level, it was sort of like, okay, now what? How do I continue to do this? And we've been pretty dependent on referrals, which is amazing to be able to grow a business like that from referrals. But I realize now I need to learn more about marketing, sales strategies, addressing culture whenever you've got all of these rapid growth things, lots of things moving around at once. And so for me this year, the biggest challenge to overcome was really inside me and my own mental health, but also in not giving up whenever things weren't going like I wanted them to. And what I learned in that challenge was that I needed to double down on my commitment to delegate. And I mean, that's the thing I talk about is delegation. I really, I'm a huge proponent for it, but even for myself, it's something that I have to constantly work on developing that skill. And I realized this year that I could delegate more and give myself time to think, because that's something that I think leaders don't have enough time to do. We're making decisions so quickly in these transition points in life. And sometimes that isn't enough time. We need to be able to really step back and realize, okay, how does this connect to my bigger picture goal? And so I had to have trusted people in place to take the business where I wanted to go so that I could step back and do that. And it was like a fog lifted whenever I was able to just take some time to let my mind roam around on the problems and to figure things out. And now I'm feeling motivated again, and still only working about 1 day a week in the business. And the rest of the days, it's all about strategy and creating content and, really upping my game on the marketing side of things.
Those are great strategies. I love everything that you said there, because I have also noticed when you give yourself that space, that time to think, that you allow for creativity. And I was listening to a new audiobook called The Laws of Human Nature, and it's incredible. He was also talking about that space, well, being able to take a step back and then look at the big picture. We allow for more ideas and more different avenues to come to us to then be able to decide, instead of, okay, I just see this one clear path and I don't really have the time to think much deeper about it. I'm choosing that one. Sometimes that works out, but sometimes in hindsight, as we get more experienced, right, as you're talking about, and more money is coming in and we have more responsibilities with all these people on our team, it makes a lot of difference to take that time and the space. And I think too, especially what I've seen in a lot of my clients, and even myself, I struggle with, is not feeling guilty that I'm not doing anything. I think that could be a misconception that you are doing something if you allow that space, because that's when great ideas or new ideas, new avenues, new ways of doing things, and maybe you've never seen that online, that you try it and it works.
I love what you're saying about that, because that is really describing what happened to me this year, because I was finding myself doing busy work because I felt like I need to be doing something. I'm not doing anything to make the business better and grow. And what am I supposed to do with all this time? I've delegated some things and I have time. And I found myself doing the kind of the dopamine hit thing where it's like, what's on Slack, what's on email. And, I was just sort of like scattered and not really being effective. And I didn't want to waste time and not work. But I realized actually that's what I needed to do, was to take more walks, spend some time in thought, listen to more audiobooks. All of that stuff is really powerful for us when we have the time and space to do it. And that is work for business owners. It's an intellectual sport for us, is the way I see it. And so if we have some time to think, that's actually good work to be doing.